Okay, let's talk about investing. We're going to take the single biggest excuse people have for not starting and turn it into your greatest strength. I'm going to show you step by step how to take just $100, that's it, and start building real wealth with it, starting today. So, first things first, let's just completely demolish this idea that you need a huge pile of cash to get started. If you think you need thousands of dollars to even get in the game, well, that's old news. The rulebook has been totally rewritten. I mean, think about it. What's $100? Maybe 2 dinners out if you're lucky, a few weeks of coffee. But now look at what that same money could do. With time and a little bit of consistency, that same $100 put to work every month can grow into a genuinely life-altering sum of money. The choice you make today seems small, but trust me, the long-term impact is absolutely massive. So, how are we going to get you there? Simple. We've got a 5-step mission. We're going to start with why $100 is such a powerhouse. Then we'll run a quick but crucial safety check. After that, we pick the right tools, execute your very first investment, and then, the best part, we put the whole thing on autopilot. By the time we're done here, you won't just know about investing, you'll be an investor. All right, let's kick things off with the why. Why is starting with just $100 such a game changer? Well, it all comes down to 2 secret weapons: the incredible, unstoppable force of compounding and the education you get from having real skin in the game. Look at this. This is where it gets really exciting. Investing $100 one time is fine. It grows, but it's not going to change your life. But look at that column on the right. That is the power of a habit. The first 10 years are nice, but the real magic happens later. Just look at the insane jump between year 30 and year 40. That's not just your money working anymore. That's your money's money making more money than you're even putting in. That right there is the snowball effect of compounding. And that first $100 buys you something you can't get from any book: a real education. Reading about market volatility is one thing. Feeling it when you actually own a piece of these companies, that's a whole different lesson. It teaches you how to stay calm. It shifts your entire mindset from just being a consumer to being an owner. That's priceless. Okay, before we get all excited and hit that buy button, we have to run a quick pre-flight check. Seriously, this part is non-negotiable. It's what separates smart, responsible investing from just throwing your money at a wall and hoping it sticks. So here's the deal, and it's super important. Your investment money has to be surplus money. That means, number 1, all your essential bills, rent, food, utilities, are covered. Number 2, you've got a small emergency fund, at least $500 to $1,000, tucked away in a savings account. And number 3, you are laser focused on destroying any high-interest debt, like credit cards. No investment on earth is going to reliably beat a 20% interest rate that's working against you. Get this foundation in place first. Checklist done? Awesome. Now we get to the fun part. Let's start gearing up. We need to figure out where you're going to open your account. That's called your brokerage. And then decide exactly what to buy with that first $100. And the best news is that nowadays, the best tools are pretty much free. Here's what you're looking for. 4 simple things: 0 commissions on trades, no minimum amount to open an account, a feature for automatic investing, and this is key, the ability to buy fractional shares. That just means if a stock is, say, $500, you don't need $500. You can buy just $1 worth if you want. Platforms like Fidelity, Schwab, and SoFi all nail these features and are fantastic places to start. So once that account is open, what do you actually buy? Well, you've got some amazing choices. For total simplicity, an index fund lets you buy a tiny piece of the entire market at once. Instant diversification. A 3-fund split does something similar but gives you global exposure. A dividend ETF is awesome for a little psychological boost. It holds companies that pay you cash dividends. If you can handle a bit more of a roller coaster, a growth ETF has higher potential returns. You could also put a tiny slice into an individual stock, but please treat that as a learning lab, not your main strategy. And if you want to be completely hands-off, a target date fund or a robo-advisor will manage everything for you automatically. Okay, that's a lot of options. And theory is great, but here we're all about taking action. So let's cut through the noise. Here is an exact, concrete plan for what you can do with your first $100, like right now. Here's a beautifully simple and balanced approach I really like. You take $60 and put it into a low-cost S&P 500 or total stock market index fund. That's your solid, diversified foundation. Then put $25 into a dividend ETF. This gives you that rewarding feeling of getting paid just for owning it. And finally, take the last $15 and buy a fractional share of one single company you know, love, and believe in. That's your learning lab. It keeps you engaged. And actually doing this could not be easier. You literally open your brokerage app, search for the fund's ticker symbol, and instead of worrying about shares, you just type in the dollar amount you want to invest. Then, and this is without a doubt the most important step, you set up a recurring investment for $100 every single month. And finally, for your own peace of mind, you close the app. Seriously, don't check it every day. Let's talk a little more about that last step, because honestly, making this an unbreakable habit is the real secret sauce here. You're not just making one investment today. You are building a wealth-generating machine that's going to run on its own. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? The people who win at investing aren't the geniuses who perfectly time the market. No way. They are the ones who just build a boring, unbreakable habit of investing consistently, month after month. And automation is what makes that possible. When you set up that recurring transfer, you take willpower and emotion completely out of the equation. Your wealth literally builds itself while you're sleeping. And this is what that journey looks like. That first month, yeah, it's going to feel tiny, but you did the hardest part. You started. By year 1, the habit is just part of your routine. By year 5, you can actually see the compounding start to kick in. By year 10, you've got a meaningful amount of money. And way out at year 30, that simple $100 habit has become a massive nest egg. This is the payoff for your consistency. So really, your main job is just to not mess it up. Avoid these classic mistakes that derail beginners. Don't get addicted to checking your balance every day. Don't panic and sell when the market has a bad week. In fact, that just means your next $100 buys more shares on sale. Don't chase hype stocks. And for heaven's sake, don't try to day trade. Just set the plan, automate it, and let time do the heavy lifting for you. And that brings us to the end. The only thing left to do is your final mission. It's a simple one. Don't just close this out and forget about it. Open a new tab right now, pick a brokerage, and invest your first $100. Set it to happen again next month. It's time to transform yourself from someone who just learns about investing into someone who is an investor. This is your moment. So, are you in?